welcome to another episode of the In Between Podcast. Let's go ahead and get this thing started. Hello and welcome to another episode of the In Between Podcast with your host, as always, Kyle McLemore. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you guys for stopping by. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button because it's much appreciated and it helps keep the show alive. How are you guys doing? I'm doing just fine. That's right. Got my iced Americano and we're ready to go. Have you guys ever been over-caffeinated? Other than being really energized, there's a pretty easy way to tell when you're over-caffeinated, and I found out pretty recently. You guys ever thrown up from being over-caffeinated? Because I have. It's a good way that your body's like, whoa, I think we're good on the caffeine. I think it was because usually, before I work out, I got the Celsius little powder pack that I'll throw in some water, and it's got 200 milligrams of caffeine. So I think I did a workout, and then I think I went from straight after working out and showering or whatever to boom, straight over to coming in here trying to record a week or two ago. And I had my... You'll notice today it's a small, but usually I go medium. But yeah, I was drinking my medium iced Americano. I remember just standing there being this is my kitchen. And I just stopped and was I feel kind of weird. And then you ever see a newborn baby or just an infant spit up out of nowhere? They're just sitting there and then they're just it's all this spit up. It was like that. Except with coffee. I was just standing in my kitchen ugh, why do I feel so weird? And then right when my head hit the word weird, it was just and it wasn't projection vomit. It was literally an infant, just this mouthful of just my Americano just came back. And I think my body's way of saying whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, we're good on caffeine. Now, I did work out kind of recently, but it's a small, so I think we'll be okay. See if suddenly through the pod, I just projection vomit all over the place. All over my new laptop. Not new, just newly refurbished. But thank you so much for tuning in. In case you didn't know, that's right, it's episode 50, which is kind of why, I know it's really not the biggest accomplishment, but also kind of it is 50 episodes, and I'm trying to keep it consistent, 25 minutes or more. Which is no easy task. And I know that the previous category is lots of 10, 15, maybe a couple 20s. But as the pod goes on, our length time extends and it's getting better and better. And the catchphrase here at the In Between Podcast, we're just figuring it out as we go along. So thank you so much for tuning in for the first 50. And here is to another 50. Hopefully we get to that century, into those triple digits. That's gonna be awesome. But yeah, you guys ever watch that JCS Criminal Psychology? Because it's probably the one piece of content, I don't know, you want to call it a show, it's on YouTube. Is it a show? Series? Extremely well done videos. JCS Criminal Psychology is my shizzle. Again, trying to ease up on the cussing, but JCS is the best. They are so good at what they do. It is the most thoroughly entertaining. If you even like true crime stuff a little bit, I am so obsessed with it. It is like the creme de la creme of like true crime stuff. The worst part about it is that they really take their time. I mean, it's completely worth it because it's like each video is just like, mwah, delicious, like start to finish, so scrumptious in the true crime category. But yeah, it's like a month, like one video per month, but they are so good. And I've noticed it is the one piece of content that I lock into like nothing else, dude. The Last of Us, any other show, even like movies, I'll go see a movie and it's like it is so rare that I am so locked in that I don't even like glance at my phone or like, check what time it is. Like even with The Last of Us, there's a few episodes where it's like, pull out the phone and maybe check the gram while I'm watching this, but not JCS. Not only am I completely invested, but I'm like edge of my seat, just like locked in, like not even blinking because I'm so like entertained. God, they do such a good job of like, and that's the best part too, is it's not just like true crime stuff. It's like I think my favorite thing is like the interviews, dude. The interview footage is so unbelievably entertaining to me personally. I love watching a murderer or a psycho or a just straight up liar sit there and try to like work out of this interrogation, and I love the opposite side, which is like the detective side of like seeing how they like strategically. It is unbelievable how amazingly strategic the whole interrogation room thing is. Like, not just what they're going to say and talk about, but everything, dude. The way that, like, the room is set up, the way the chairs, the way they're positioned, the way that, like, I have my arms crossed, or maybe, like, I'm more engaged. Dude, the, like, psychological warfare that is going on in these rooms is so fascinating to watch. I love it. And then like, oh man, the last one they did was so good. And it's like, that's the other thing that's really great about JCS is it like you'll hear about these like stories and then like just completely forget about them because, it's life and every day there's some new horrific atrocity that erases the previous day. But what's awesome is that every once in a while something pops up on here where you're just like, oh, I remember this, dude. Like, for example, the one that just got released was the chick who, like, zipped her, like, was it her fiance or just, like, a boyfriend? Zipped up her boyfriend in a suitcase and just left him there to suffocate. And I remember this popping up in the news as, like, it's one of those stories where it's like, what the hell? This dude got zipped up into a suitcase and just like suffocated to death? Horrible. And then like that's kind of the last you hear of it. But then when this comes out, it's like you get to see the whole interview, the whole gotcha, bitch. Like the whole thing is so good. And not only is it good watching like the exchange and the footage and all the behind the scenes stuff, but dude, whoever they got as the narrator is a savage, dude. He is the greatest, dude. Not only is he like extremely informative and like very well read, but the dude is slaying these moronic people. And he goes both sides too. It is a double-edged sword. Not only is he pointing out all the moronic mistakes made by the person accused, but he also does a great job of pointing out all the interview people like, hey, look, interviewer number one is really messing up here. He should have stopped trying to say that and like blah, blah. It's great. It is a fascinating study of both sides of the law. And it's so good with moments like this too, where it's like, her whole thing is like, I don't know. We were playing hide and go seek, and like he wanted to get zipped up into the suitcase, and I said, hey, that's great. And we're drinking a little, so I went upstairs and fell asleep, and oh my goodness, I woke up and he's dead. And it's like, oh, okay. weird, super weird, and somewhat suspicious, but okay. I mean, maybe you didn't mean to do it. And then, like, the narrator's like, but Sarah doesn't know that she's got, that the police have her phone recordings in their possession, and she doesn't have any memory of the videos that she took that night because she was so intoxicated, but she's about to find out. And then it's like she's sitting there like, I don't know. We were playing hide and go seek, and like the last thing I remember is just waking up. And they're like, that's weird. What's up with this? And they play the video. And it's literally her just like, that's what you get. That's what you get, you son of a bitch. You're not getting out of there. Fuck you. While he's like begging for it, like, let me out, please. And she's just like, fuck you, that's what you get. And like her face of just like hearing herself is just so unbelievable. Just like, oh, bitch, you're done. You're done. Oh, man. It reminds me of, did you guys see that other unbelievable moron that got busted? Hang on a sec. Do you ever see those videos where they play like the Curb Your Enthusiasm music? They'll do something like, somebody says something dumb and it's just like, if there was ever a time to play that music behind a clip, it was this one, dude. This moron who doesn't understand Google in the year 2023 is just sitting there after he just murdered his wife and having a field day Googling every possible incriminating thing you could like Google. It's so dumb. It is unbelievable that you can be a functioning human in 2023 and still not understand that everything you type is like recorded and saved, dude. Like, it is insane to think that this moron, like, I'm telling you, the footage is unbelievable because like it starts out far away and it just slowly starts zooming in as this lady is just reading his entire Google history, and it's just like 10:01 p.m. How long till a body starts to stink? 10:02 p.m. What's the best way to dispose of a body? 10:03 p.m. Is it better to like chop it up or dip it in acid? 10:04. Where do I buy acid to dissolve a body? And then the whole time as she's reading this, it's just like slowly zooming in on his face, and he's just like 10:05 p.m. How long can I wait until I can cash my wife's life insurance? Fucking moron, dude. I think that's like the first ever episode of Forensic Files. Is like, it's insane watching those old episodes, dude, of like the original like AOL browser, and like some dude did the same exact thing, like, what's the best way to dispose of a body? Hey, how long can I wait before I cash my wife's life insurance? Idiot. But yeah, like, I can understand maybe if it's 1998 and it's like the first time you've ever been on the internet browser, like maybe you get a pass of like not knowing, but 2023 and you're still just Googling stuff, you moron. You deserved to get caught immediately. Oh, so stupid. But God, I love true crime stuff, and JSC is the best. But what I also wanted to talk about was how it's a brand new month. That's right, we're in April. April showers, and they're bringing May flowers. So we've got a whole new list of upcoming movies. Starting with right at the beginning of April, it's a Super Mario, or should I say, Super Mario. Mamma Mia, it's a me, Mario. Let's go. That's my Chris Pratt impersonation. And I'm like, I have a sneaky suspicion that like he had a choice, right? It's either do I go for it and try to be like, Yahoo, let's go, it's a me, Mario, which is like, you're gonna get blasted online by people being like, how fucking dare you? Like all the Italian people of the world just like, fuck you, Chris Pratt. So I think instead of going like the getting roasted by Italian route, he just went the route of like, look, there's no way I'm going to do it in a way that people like. So I'm just going to do my voice. And it's like, what's the worst they can say? Is it like, I'm just doing my own voice? It's like it is a sneaky way of like really playing it safe. And it's really funny to listen to, like, let's go. Mamma mia. But having said that, just speaking visually, like I'm actually trying to, there's a couple movies that are coming out soon that I'm trying to avoid trailers on because the closer you get to the release date, they really start pumping up the advertisement, and it's like I don't want to see too much. I've already seen the Evil Dead trailer too many times. Like, I don't want to see it anymore because it's like I have a feeling it's spoiling a lot for me. But for the Super Mario movie, I'm trying to do the same, not trying to see it too much because it looks gorgeous. It looks beautiful. Like, say what you want. Like, oh my God, it's a kid's movie. Oh, whatever. It's probably going to be like Chris Pratt is so, not Italian. But just speaking visually, my God, this movie looks beautiful, dude. Like, I'm just like really looking forward to just staring at the beauty of this animation. Whatever the illumination, oh my God, they are really showcasing what they can do with this movie because it looks unbelievably crispy, clean, beautiful. And I have a really, really strong feeling that this movie is gonna crush the box office, dude. Rush it, which makes me feel bad for our next upcoming film, Air. It's directed by Ben Affleck. Air, the story of the Jordan shoe, Air Jordans. It's interesting. I mean, the dynamic duo of Matt Damon, Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck directing, I'm sure it'll be fine. It's one of those things where it's like everything that Ben Affleck and Matt Damon have either like directed or like co-wrote or like have some kind of touch on is usually genuinely pretty good. Generally pretty good. What was that? Argo was like, this is pretty good. The Town was like, all right, that's pretty good. Those are both Ben Affleck movies. And, it's starring Matt Damon as, like, the shoe guy and Viola Davis as Jordan's mom. I mean, it's one of those ones where it's like I feel like it's probably not going to do well at the box office, but I feel like it's probably going to be, like, a pretty good movie overall. Like, I feel like it's going to be under the radar pretty good. It's unfortunate that it's coming out versus Super Mario because it's got no chance. No chance. Even like the way that it's being marketed is like, I think they know. I think they know that it's not going to rival Super Mario. Again, not saying that it's going to be bad. I have a feeling it's probably going to be pretty good. I'm going to see it. It's probably going to be okay. We'll see. We'll see what's up with that. Next up, Renfield, which this is the one, dude. This is probably my current looking forward to the most. I mean, if it's not enough to sell you that it's like Nick Cage as Dracula, what else do you need? Nicolas Cage as Dracula. Like, what could you possibly else want? Like, it's rated R. It's going to be probably very gory and graphic, and like I'm sure Nick Cage is gonna be chewing up the scenery as well as like a few nets, I'm sure. But it's also got Nicholas Hoult, who really caught my attention in The Menu. Up until The Menu, I mostly knew that dude as like Beast in like the X-Men movies. He's like the young Beast or whatever, and he was always like okay. But it wasn't until I saw him in the menu that I was like, oh my God, this guy's a fucking actor. Like, he's fucking good in the menu. He is so unexpectedly good in the menu that he really, really opened my eyes to what a great actor he is. So not only do we got Nick Cage as Dracula, but then Nicholas Hoult also as like our main character, Renfield. I'm really looking forward to it. There's also Mafia Mama, which is like, okay, so this is one of those movies where I have no interest at all. Now, admittedly, it doesn't really look like my thing. It's like a comedy. Mafia Mama. She's like, oh my God, I have to take over as head of the family. Oh my goodness, but I'm silly and like a lady. Whoa, shenanigans ensue. Doesn't look that great. But it's not that thing. It's like I probably won't see it. Not because I don't want to. It's because, you know why? Do you want to know why I won't see it? Because it's got Toni Collette in it. Is that her fucking name? Toni Collette. The main lady from Hereditary, dude. That lady, God, Hereditary is so good. Hereditary is so good, i.e. horrifically horrifying, that like I can't watch Toni Collette in anything else. I can't watch her in anything without being like thinking about Hereditary, which just like scares the hell out of me. Anytime she pops up, even like this, where it's like super light and like silly and just being like very slapsticky, very just like comedy, but still, Toni Collette, I will not see her in anything just because it's like, I have like PTSD from goddamn Hereditary. And that's when we start to enter the spooky part of April. April has like a few horror movies, and like they actually all kind of come out around the same time. There's actually two that have the same release date. This isn't one of them, but as we start to enter kind of like the spooky phase of April, we get to The Pope's Exorcist, which I am so looking forward to this movie. Not as a horror. Like, dude, I get such comedy vibes from this movie. Hang on one sec. I get insane comedy vibes from this movie. I don't know why. This movie doesn't give me any kind of like thrills or scares at all. This movie makes me feel like I'm gonna laugh my ass off the entire movie. Every time they show that kid and he's like in possessed mode, and he's like, bring me the priest. I'm just like, it looks stupid. And then Russell Crowe just like, it looks ridiculously dumb. It looks not scary at all. Every time they show that kid just like in demon mode, it just makes me feel really, really silly. I'm looking forward to going to see that movie and just laughing my ass off the whole time. I love Russell Crowe, but the Pope's Exorcist, get the hell out of here. There's a line, it's so stupid. Can you imagine if the demon took possession of the Pope's exorcist? The power that they would have. Like, this is so dumb, dude. And then we did The Covenant. Guy Ritchie's The Covenant. What is going on with Guy Ritchie lately? He's had like a few movies released that are like bafflingly like also like not only are they like not good movies, but then they're also like way outside of what his usual style kind of is. There was like Operation Fortune. It had some kind of weird subtitle name. Operation Fortune, da or whatever. Operation Fortune, starring Jason Statham and Aubrey Plaza. Jason Statham co-starring with Aubrey Plaza. Yeah, that movie was terrible. That movie was bad, dude. Not good at all. And it was also like this weird spy movie, like a spy kind of save the world kind of thing. Weird, and also like not your typical Guy Ritchie thing. And it was just not good. And now we've got The Covenant, which is also this is not typical Guy Ritchie at all. This is like a Jake Gyllenhaal going to Iraq and like he gets saved and has to go back to save the other guy that saved. It looks very heavy. It looks dramatic as hell. It looks like there's almost no lighthearted comedy. It does not have the vibe of like a Guy Ritchie movie at all. I don't know if this is like a Guy Ritchie, like, you know, sometimes you gotta do like a movie you wouldn't want to do for the studio, and then they let you do a movie you really want to do. So is this like a tit for tat kind of thing? Is he doing like a, you know, I'll do a couple of these whatever movies, and then I'm gonna come out with finally, man, what is that movie? Not Snatch, not Lock, Stock. Dude, every time I do this, not The Gentleman. What is the one with Gerard Butler, dude? Oh, this is Gerard Butler, and it was also like Tom Hardy's, like one of his first appearances. Oh, this is gonna bother me, but it was like, it ended with like, hey, don't worry, you'll see them again. Never saw them again. Like, okay. It's gonna bother me too much, so now I must search for it. Guy Ritchie. Also directed, hey, maybe that's what it is. Sherlock Holmes 3. That's like still kind of holding out hope for that. And he's a writer on Aladdin. Did not know that. The Ruse de Guerre, stupid. Wrath of Man, that was also not good. The Gentleman, not good. Rock and Rolla, there it is. Bingo! Rock and Rolla, which is like, that's a Guy Ritchie movie. Very Snatch, very Lock, Stock, very all these characters. There's like multiple heists that all intertwine with each other. That's the Guy Ritchie vibe. And Rock and Rolla was like, there was a lot of stuff that wasn't great, but it's like one of those movies that's like it's like right there, dude. You're so close to being like a really good movie. And it's mostly because like Gerard Butler is so awesome. Tom Hardy is so awesome. That one guy who can never catch a break. What is that dude's name? I know this is getting very diluted here, but what is this guy's name? Because this guy is fascinating as well. His career is fascinating. How he is like always right there, dude. He's always on the brink of like breaking through to like fame. Toby Kebbell. Toby was like the main guy in Rock and Rolla, and he's like close to being the main guy in a lot of stuff. He was Victor Von Doom in like the most recent terrible Fantastic Four. He was also in that Kong Skull Island for like 2 seconds. He's like this soldier who gets killed almost immediately, but he's also the guy who was like acting as Kong. Like he was like the digital, he was doing the movements of Kong. So it's like Toby Kebbell is always like right there, dude. He's a really good actor. He was great in Rock and Roller. He had like a really good I think there was like a really good, he was in like a really good Black Mirror episode. Yeah, but he was in like a good Black Mirror one. He's good dude, but it's just like always right there, dude. Like not quite good. But anyway, bringing it back to coming soon, that brings us to, I can't help. This is like, and it's weird too, like they're both opening on the same day. They're both going to be insane. I can't wait for both of them. The first one, Evil Dead, Evil Dead Rise, dude. I cannot wait for this. I actually need to I'm going to probably go back and watch the most recent Evil Dead, like that kind of new-ish remake that was done that I don't really remember. All I remember is like the big finale of her like with the chainsaw and just like this fountain of blood just and that's probably what I'm looking for. That's another movie I'm trying really hard to avoid trailers. I don't want to see any more footage. I don't want to see anything else. I just want to see the movie. I don't want to see anything else spoiled. But I want to see that. I want to see that's Evil Dead, dude. That's just Evil Dead. Just fountains of blood gushing everywhere. I cannot wait for it to get hardcore, gnarly gore. It's going to be great. Evil Dead Rise. And then on the same day is an insanely anticipated movie, Beau is Afraid. Joaquin Phoenix. What is his name, dude? It's Ari Aster, right? He's the director? Ari Aster? Yep, I don't even have to look it up any further. Ari Aster, director of such films as Hereditary and Midsommar, and his latest one coming out soon, Beau is Afraid, and I am terrified already. It looks fascinating. It looks really interesting. Joaquin Phoenix, I cannot wait. He's like... It's young Joaquin, modern Joaquin, old Joaquin. Lots of digital work on Joaquin, which all looks amazing, especially young Joaquin. It's like, God damn, this looks incredible. Joaquin, amazing actor. Ari Aster, amazing director, especially at making films that really scar the hell out of me and like really make an impression. And I'm really looking forward to it. I cannot wait to see Joaquin Phoenix. I cannot wait. Midsommar was okay. Hereditary ruined me, dude. Hereditary really affected me. Midsommar was like okay. It was still like disturbing. It was still interesting to watch. It was still entertaining. But Hereditary was like just like, oh. So I'm very interested in this. I need to try to separate myself. Like, it's not Hereditary. It's going to be its own thing. I need to appreciate it for its own kind of solo value. But still, really looking forward to it. And then we round out the month with the longest title of a movie ever. Big George Foreman, The Miraculous Story of... And then it goes on from there. Like, the once and future heavyweight champion of the world. Whatever, looks okay. George Foreman, very cool. It's like a biopic, looks cool. I'm sure he has a interesting life, fighting Ali, becoming the champ, becoming like the grill champ. Should be cool. There is one part of that movie that like it gets me every time, just because it's like, fuck yeah, dude. When they show him as like a little kid, and this one kid's like, they should change his name from George Foreman to George Poor Man, because he's so poor. And then he just beats the fuck out of him. He's like, what's my name now, huh? What's my name? It's like, oh, fuck yeah, George Foreman. I'm down with that. I mean, you know, I'll check it out, I guess. Biopic. It should be fine. Should be interesting. But what are you looking forward to in April? Because got a lot coming out. We'll see what happens. Yeah, April, we got some good stuff coming. So hit me up. Let me know what you're looking forward to in the coming months. Thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate it here at episode 50. And as we march forward into those triple digits, thank you for joining us on our journey. If you haven't already, slap that like and subscribe. It helps us get to 100 even faster. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am your host as always, Kyle McLemore. We'll see you next time on the pod.